Today we are going to be learning how to draw a mouth. Okay, and we're all of the features that we've been kind of working on as if you're just looking at the face is straightforward. Obviously, there's lots of different angles you could see a face or a mouth, but we're just working on a straightforward face. So we are going. What I like to do, I like to again draw a little bit bigger so I could learn how to do my details. You won't always do these details if your picture's not as close up, but we're gonna be doing a little bit closer portrait of ourselves, so you probably will see these details to a point. So I always kind of like to start with the middle of the mouth, so like the opening of the mouth, and our mouth is going to be closed. Okay, so I'm going to start with kind of a dip, and then I'm going to sort of do a little kind of swervy line like that, and then I'm going to do the opposite over here, and I'm going to try to make it as even as I can. Okay, trying to make the same kind of spacing. Now it is always harder to get it to be the exact same on both sides. Anytime you do something that is symmetrical, it is harder. Luckily though, all of us are a little bit of asymmetrical on both sides, so that we're slightly different on both halves of our bodies. Strangely enough, we are. So anyways, we have our this is the opening of our mouth, okay? And I'm going to now do like the top lip, okay? So most of our mouths will have this little curve here, and we'll have this little Cupid's bow sort of right here. Some people have a really prominent one, and some people don't. So I'm almost going to, for my top lip, almost repeat this kind of line here. The difference is I'm going to connect them at the corner. Okay, so I'm going to kind of do this, and then I'm going to kind of slope down here, and then I'm going to kind of slope down here. Okay, some people might have a little bit more of a, thick upper lip. Some people might have really thin, narrow lips. It just kind of depends on the person. Again, all of our lessons are just to kind of learn the sort of the blueprint of our facial features. So that is kind of the rough shape of an upper lip. And again, some people might have a really prominent or smaller dip right here too. It just sort of depends on the person. Also kind of depends on age and gender too. So then we're going to basically just do a little kind of curve right here. Some people have more of a flat line right here, and then it kind of curves up, and some people don't. So you can kind of make that all around if you want. So drawing a mouth really is not very difficult. It's pretty simple just to get the basic shape. Where it comes in to be a little bit more difficult is where we are trying to give it more form and texture. Okay, so again, I have my kind of rough outline here, and I want to make my lips have that like if you ever have looked at lips close up, we have our skin on our lips is kind of loose so that our lips can stretch and we can smile. So we do that when our lips are relaxed and closed. We have that kind of wrinkly look in our lips. So we want to kind of add that. Now, what I am doing here, notice I'm not doing straight lines, okay? Let me do I'm going to do a little example down here of what not to do. Okay, so our lips are curved. Don't do straight lines, okay? What that's going to do, it's going to flatten out our lips. Don't do, okay? And we have a bunch of space between our lines as well, so that's also going to flatten them out. So just like we did on our eyelashes, we're going to do these curved lines, and they're going to eventually kind of change direction. They're going to be overlapping lines too. Now this is going to help give us texture. I'm not going super dark. I'm not trying to. I just want to kind of go light lines as it gets to the middle. It's going to change directions. Okay. And the more round you have this, the more plump your lips are going to look. Okay. So if you have them, you would still want curved lines regardless. You're never going to want to do straight lines. You're always going to want them curved. But if you have maybe not as full lips, they maybe just won't be as curved. So I'm going to do the same thing on my top lip. Again, overlapping lines. Going to change directions as I get into the middle. Very gradually. They kind of they very just kind of slowly change directions. And again, the more curved you have, the more voluptuous the lips look. Okay. So that's kind of the basics. Again, you want overlapping, curved lines for texture. Okay. So now we need to shade it, and we're going to also learn how to kind of shade the area around it too. I'm going to erase this. I might erase that later. We'll see if I need to for room. So what I'm going to take now is I'm going to take like a blending stick, a little small one, because my drawing is small. So if you have a bigger mouth, you'll probably want a bigger one. But I'm going to soften the shadow right in here, right along the crease, because this is where we're going to have a little bit more of a shadow. Okay. But I'm going to also kind of go over and soften the texture in our lips. Okay. Now we want the middle of our lip to have a highlight. So I'm going to I might have to go back in and erase that, lighten it up or something. But I'm going to kind of go over this with my blending stick just to kind of soften that texture a little bit. I'm going to also kind of, because our edge of our lip is usually a little darker too, okay? So I'm going to soften that up. I'm going to do the top. So actually, when we start shading, our top lip is actually going to be overall darker than our bottom lip because just the way the light hits it. So our middle should be a little bit lighter. So I'm going to kind of buff in a highlight here. Okay. For those of you that aren't listening and only watching, I'm going to make a little note here so that hopefully you at least get this information. So, top lip is darker than lower lip. Okay. And then we have a highlight on bottom or lower lip in the middle. Okay. So hopefully those that aren't listening can at least we've got information. Okay. So I feel like I want to darken my top lip just a little bit more. And I might pull that shadow out actually from kind of the crease of the lip and let it fade up, because it will, even though our overall top lip is going to be darker in value, it'll still have a little bit of a light at the top here. So I'm going to let my darker value really kind of come up from the crease of the mouth, should I say. And the crease of the mouth will be the darkest point of the lip, because that's where the least amount of light is getting to, okay? So I'm going to kind of darken here with my pencil. I'm still trying to keep my texture, okay? And then I can kind of go back. Okay, so it's going to be probably a little bit more like that. We'll probably have a little bit darker here along the crease and in the corners too. Okay, so I'm going to just add that little value. Don't blend away texture. Okay. So there's kind of our lip shading, but we also need to do like the shading around our lip. So we should have I'm going to use just this for now. And then if I need to go back and darken it up, I can. I'm going to kind of do that. Oh, I don't know. It's not the Cupid's bow because that's part of the lip, but it's that little area. We did it with the nose, but I also like to practice it with the lip. And we want to leave a highlight here. Highlight around top lip. Okay, so I'll kind of show you. So we have a highlight here too. We usually have a little highlight right there as well. I need to get some more. Loading this up over here with some graphite. Okay, so, oh, that's too dark. That's okay. I'll lighten it up. I'll make it match. So we actually have a highlight here and a highlight here. It looks funny. It looks really kind of like a mustache when it's not connected to the rest of the face. Or like once it's connected to the rest of the face, it looks a little bit better. So I'm going to probably get a tissue here in a minute and try to soften that up a little bit. There we go. There. That's a little bit more even. You can kind of see the shadows a little bit better that way. And then we're going to have kind of a darker tone because our bottom lip sticks out. So we're going to have kind of a shadow under our bottom lip. And again, when it's not blended in with the rest of the face, I feel like it looks really strange. There's usually a chin right here that you can kind of buff it out, make the shadows sort of blend and connect. And some people do have this highlight that kind of goes around the top. Sometimes it does you know, on some people go around the bottom lip too. But I feel like adding this bottom shadow right here usually helps make this feel like it's really got some depth to it. Okay. So that is kind of how you shade your face. Again, we'll have it when you have the nose and the cheeks and stuff connected. It feels a little bit more correct as far as, you know, not just looking like a mustache or something above it. So that is your lip lesson.